One more time, bringing in all the women, ancestors.
Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. Dear friends, I want to welcome you tonight to this holy gathering of the RPA at OHALAH. It has been such a wonderful conference filled with the contributions and the talents of all of you, all of us. Thank you for all you've done to make this OHALAH conference so deep and so meaningful. We are the healers, the rabbis and the ritual artists and poets and storytellers and gatherers and holders of space. I pray that all of us and all that we bring to others through our ministry is accepted by you. Yeah. With all that's going on in the world today, and yes, I have to say a quick Shehecheyanu for the impeachment tonight, if you haven't heard. Perhaps we can finally move away from the hatred and violence that has plagued our world for the last, in our country for the last 4 years. Beyond all of that, we're in a pandemic, and so many of us are on the front lines. Everyone is calling out for our help and our support. And I want to acknowledge the holy work that all of us are doing to make sure that everyone feels supported and loved, whether it be at the bedside, in our communities, or in our Zoom rooms. Thank you for creating the fabric of this healing quilt we call the RPA. It is a human quilt of unparalleled kindness, wisdom, experience, and love. The newest official member of the RPA received her smicha on Sunday night. It was an incredible, emotional, and holy moment. I want to take a moment to acknowledge that sweat equity and the avodah, the hard work that went into the accomplishment. So let us bless our friend, Rabbinic Pastor Cantor Chaya Lerner, on this milestone. And raise our glasses in l'chaim. L'chaim. Cheers.
I didn't know she was ordained as a cantor.
Did I say rabbinic pastor?
I've heard me say
Rabbinic Pastor Cantor.
I said cantor?
Yes.
Oh, yay.
I'm honored.
Maybe I
Two
had
for
one.
Chaya,
Maybe
two for
maybe
one.
maybe I should have had another glass of wine before I started this meeting. Rabbinic Pastor Chaya Lerner. Yay. So I'm going to give Chaya a short blessing, and then after that I'm going to call everyone to unmute so we can go around the Zoom room. You can either give a short blessing, and then afterwards we're just going to unmute and say Mazel Tov. So dear Chaya, may the Shekhinah bless you with health, strength, and joy in the path you've chosen. May the communities you serve show you love and all the respect that you have earned, that you deserve. And may the Holy One of Blessing shine grace and compassion through you like a bolt of lightning as you continue to heal and hold, nurture and protect, bringing light into this broken world. And let us all say,
Amen.
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 Amen, amen.
Amen.
Beautiful.
So, Miriam, give us a blessing for Chaya. I'm just going to call on everyone real quick and unmute.
Chaya, I bless you that you should always be connected to your heart, that you may be a clear channel for the Holy One, bringing healing and love and ease of well-being to all with whom you come in contact. Amen.
Amen.
Katya, it's your turn. Sorry, I have to unmute myself sometimes too.
Rabbinic Pastor Chaya Lerner. May you be given strength, fortitude, and to lean into the painful places, not to fix, but to companion. And may you become familiar with discomfort. May you realize that as you can hold space for somebody, acknowledge their journey, and give them safety to experience what they need to experience. May God fill your heart. Just fill your heart as you say to yourself, who gets to do this? And be filled with just the sense of wonder that you've been chosen, but know that you've been chosen correctly and wisely. Amen.
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 Amen. D. Herman.
Rabbinic Pastor Chaya, may the knowing that you have in your soul stay open to keep knowing the stories and the journeys of all those who you serve, that they feel safe with you to share from their hearts the places that they are trying to navigate. And that all through this journey that you're on now, may you remember the importance of taking care of yourself.
Amen.
Amen. I feel kind of like this is a blessing for all of us too. So these are wise words. Tavona.
Reb Chaya, colleague to all of us. You spoke before your smicha about becoming what you are becoming. And may it be that the powerful, energetic shift of this transmission helps elevate you ever more into that becoming, unveiling new possibilities of becoming that perhaps had never even been in your neshama, but now they are.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Karen.
Rabbinic Pastor Chaya learner. So your name, your title is not enough. It's not enough. So I bless you with living into not what your name is, but what your name will make you become, into a Chayot Kodesh. So I bless you that you have the strength and the courage and the trust in yourself and others, that you may unfurl your wings and fly and dance with the angels who give you life so that you can truly live. And to you, I offer a l'chaim.
Amen.
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 Yay. Shulamit, our beloved Reb Shulamit.
Well, I think I've given Chaya 10 blessings in the last 2 weeks. I'm not sure. And she deserves every one of them and a dozen more. So I will say amen to each one of your blessings, adding that extra little boost to make sure it gets to you, Chaya. And also ask that your health remain really strong and that things proceed with grace and ease. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Patrice, your blessing.
So I want to bless you that you can always have direct access to the tenderness that's inside of you. And allow that tenderness to shine forth with the people you serve.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Hina. Rapina.
Rabbinic Pastor Chaya. Chaya is one of my Hebrew names. It's nice to see it out there. And I feel like I'm not sure if we've met before, so I'm very happy to congratulate you. And I think I'd like to bless you with, I'm thinking, what would I have wished I could have been blessed with when I was ordained, that if it had really stuck, would have really helped me the most. And so this is what I bless you. That you know the source of your safety and feel connected to it and can call upon it as often as needed.
Amen. Beautiful source of safety. Wow. Reb Sandra.
Chayala. Reb Chayala. It's been such a fun, wonderful journey with you. I have been privileged to be one of your mentors along with Shulamit. And it's been quite a privilege and a journey together. You've worked so hard, and I really want to acknowledge the amazing hard work you've done to make it to today. Well, to make it to last Sunday, but and to today.
And today.
And today. Holy wow, really. You have blown all our socks and hats off, and then some. I'm so proud of you. The rave reviews from all your teachers this last year has been incredible. The work you've done with Abby Lyons, just to get your singing in Hebrew up to snuff. And you have plowed through, girl. You really have. You've worked so hard. And I really want to acknowledge that piece that peace. Tenacious. So may your tenacity serve you well in what's to come. In what's to come, because we know that as a frontline worker, you will need that tenacity and that strength and that ability to persevere the way you do, with such heart and compassion the way you do. So I wish that continues to grow in you and be supported by Hashem and all of us, and just go do your holy work, woman. The world
Amen.
is ready for you, Reb Chaya.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
Shandel, you're next.
Rabbinic Pastor Chaya Lerner. Bless you with discernment. Really know when to reach out for help. And to know when you just got this, like you're in that aligned flow and you're just there with everyone. To just know those moments of deep connection. I loved your Devar about the Torah of companionship and connection. So to receive people's Torahs and to also allow your Torah to touch others as well. And to step into this role as rabbinic pastor that you've been on this journey, and now it's like official, right? So like finding a new way into this new title, this new framework, and this new transmission that's been given to you to like really receive those blessings that were upon you. And to just step into what's next in the deepest part of your soul. Blessing.
Amen.
Amen.
Reb Aggie.
Hey, nachas. Rabbinic Pastor Chaya, we are so proud of you. Look at everybody's face. Take that in. May you take in the love, the respect, the honor that you've earned. We thank you, great gift giver from up high, for bringing us together to learn, to connect, to celebrate Chaya's lifting up, being smucht, being blessed with this special title, Rabbinic Pastor, Spiritual Guide. May you be blessed, and may you see yourself as a cherished leader of Am Yisrael, carrying forward our ancient and up-to-date teachings, and to serve our people as leaders, as teachers, and as spiritual guides. Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Amen. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Everyone smile. I'm taking a screenshot. So everyone smile for a second. That's good. Okay, Reb David Daniel, your blessing for our newest RP. You're muted. You're muted.
Yep.
Okay.
Rabbinic Pastor, hi, I've seen you at the mosh pit, but it's good to see you here. Congratulations on joining this Hevra. Wonderful to have a new addition. My blessing for you is as follows. May you always have satisfying and meaningful work to perform. May you have quality and trusted people to work with. And may you always have a deep connection to Hashem, to give you strength, to give you courage, to give you purpose, and to give you peace. Let me hear that song.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Reb Joni, so good to see you. Just unmute, darling, and then.
Where is Chaya? I don't see your face. There you are. Chaya, I don't
Hi.
think we've met.
I think we've met a couple of times.
Well, the first thing I want to say is it's so great. No more papers. I
What more to
remember.
do?
There's one or two. I remember getting them in and all of the stuff that has to be done. So Mazal Tov on the Tachlis, getting that all done and the relief of it. And I want to say welcome to this wonderful, wonderful group where I continue to learn and feel camaraderie, and welcome to all of us together. And one day we should have dinner together and talk. Mazal Tov. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mazal Tov. I think we should all unmute and do Siman Tov, and then
Is Lee able to speak? I see she's
no,
muted. Okay.
she's already sent her blessing. So
Okay.
let's do Siman Tov, Mazel Tov,
Mazel
Mazel
Tov,
Tov, Siman
Siman
Tov,
Tov,
Siman Tov,
Mazel
Mazel
Tov,
Tov,
Mazel
Mazel
Tov,
Tov, Siman Tov,
Siman
Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Yehelanu, 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 Ulechol Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulechol Yisrael, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Yehelanu. I still remember the first OHALAH conference that I went to, and Shulamit and Sandra and Dee and everyone there was making a big bridge, and we all went through it, and we had this big ritual, and it was all amazing. And I pray that we're all together, so that when we're all together, we're just going to do that again. I don't care if we all go through the bridge. We're just going to do it. Anyway, Chaya, what do you have to say? Just respond to us, and then we'll move on with our business.
So I just want to express my deepest appreciation to everyone, especially Shulamit and Sandra and Tavona and Dee, for your mentorship and leading me even through the narrow places, Dee. I first want to thank you for the roses and the delicious chocolate covered strawberries. Thankfully, my partner in this case was allergic, and that was a good thing. I got to binge eat those, and I was blessed this evening before I had dinner with the blessings that you guys sent me, and I'm in tears, and I just want you guys to know how much and how grateful I am to be a part of this Havra, and that you've welcomed me so much. Toda Rabah.
Thank you so much. So, dear friends, we're going to move on with some business now. And the first order of business is our balance sheet and our budget. And on behalf of our treasurer, Lee Copeland, who is on call tonight, I'm going to share screen right now and bring up our profit and loss and budget for the coming year 2021. It's pretty much based on 2020 on the actuals. Our total dues, we have 25 members in good standing, including 3 students. But we brought in 2,116.
I'm not seeing anything other than a black screen.
You're not seeing the share?
Nope.
No, just a black screen that you started screen sharing, but nothing showed up.
Thank you for telling me that.
Yes, I didn't mean
Let's do, in fact, what I really wanted to do is the balance sheet first. Now, do you see that?
Nope.
Huh.
No.
Just a black screen.
That's so
I
weird.
think you have to click on the screen you want to share once you do
That's
it.
what I'm doing. I work in a religious school. I do this all the time.
I believe it.
But it's that is so weird.
Yes, welcome to
Let me do advanced. Portion of screen. No.
There we go.
There, I got it.
You got it? That's
Well,
weird. Now this
we
is.
got a portion of it.
How about that? Do you see that?
Yeah. Oh, that's better.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
That's so weird. Okay, so this is our proposed budget for 2021 based on our actuals from 2020. Our dues 2,116 from 25 members. Our fees are paid to OHALAH for based on our membership, and this is the income that we brought in. There were some bank charges, computer and email for our I pay for the constant contact, but we paid for Philip for a few things. And postage and shipping, I'm not sure what that was, but I'm sure that was for something. And then our gifts for Musmachim. So our expenses were $334. Yay, so we made $1,700 this year. I'm sorry, this is our actual for the coming year. Last year we had $217.55 in expenses, and we made $1,742.65. So that's that. And in terms of our balance sheet, which I also wanted to share with you, let me get that one up. Technology is not really my big thing, but I know I do have it here somewhere. I just have to find it. Oh dear, I don't see it. Well, let me just tell you that we have about $10,000 in our bank account. So that's our profit, and that's the profit and loss. We have $10,000 there. We didn't have a lot of expenses this year, so that's about it. All we need is a motion to accept the budget for 2021, and I think we're there.
I move to accept the budget of 2021.
If
I have a
Sandra
second?
Wurzel moves, then I second the motion.
Yay! Okay, and I think it's worth. I just wanted to say that I think we're not spending a lot of money, but we do have some resources. So if we are in person next year, we might want to think about a guest or doing a speaker or something like that. And I think it would be worth exploring that option. So now the next thing on the agenda is old business, and under old business I have website, newsletter, and connecting with our membership. And I know that Sandra had something about the website, and then Karen, you were going to bring up something to share, and we just want to try to hear what we want to maybe do to expand the new website, how we can upgrade it. And Philip's willing and ready to do that at any time that we want to do that. So all it will take is gathering the resources. So Sandra?
So before we go there, actually vote on the budget. It was just moved.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Who's all those in favor of accepting the budget for 2021, please raise your hands. Yay, at least there. Yay, the budget passes. Thanks, Debbie Daniel. Appreciate that.
Will you send us a copy of it?
Yes, I will. I'll
Thank
send you. I'll send you, I actually just pulled that together. So I will send out everyone a copy of the budget and the balance sheet. And yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm not sure, I can't even remember all the things that I mentioned to you in that email. I did suggest that we feature Chaya, that we do some article and feature Chaya on her ordination and have a front page piece about her and Chaya, it would be great if you could write something up about your background and how and your story about how you came to Aleph and to
On the
decide.
website. It's on the Musmachot website.
Oh, we can take.
Well, I lifted that off for the newsletter, but I can send that to Philip and I'll have them put that on the front page.
Perfect.
I think that would be great. And then we can share it to our Facebook page, as a few members as we have on that page. But it's a closed thing anyway. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. Thank you.
That was one thing I remember saying, and then the second thing I remember saying to you, Lisa, and correct me if I'm wrong, because so much has been on my mind over the last couple of weeks with teaching Hashpa'ah all last week, and then this week with OHALAH. My mind is about absolute mush right now. So I think I said to you that it would be great if folks could send in some articles about what they're doing, or questions about ethical issues, any writings that you've done, so that we can get some new updated
content
on thank you, that's the word I was searching for, on the website. That would be terrific.
Yeah, I think we had talked about doing a resource tab, and I think what we're looking to do is really fill that tab. And I think it would be filled with articles, links. We do have some links, and Karen, you were talking about your link that we can also add. So you would just need to send me all of that. Shulamit, you had your hand raised.
Sorry, you're correct. I did have my hand raised. I'm curious as to the purpose of the newsletter. In order to think about what you would want to put in it, what is it only for us? Is it to try to get other people to be interested in being rabbinic pastors? What's the purpose?
Well, currently it's just a member constant contact email. And there's no other reason. We don't post it on the website. It's not public or anything. It could be though. What do you think? I mean, one of the things is
I just need
it's just a communication tool, really. And since I already had a constant contact account, I just put all of our emails in, and that's why you're getting all these emails from us, because I just send them out. And I just got something from David Balto about another NAJC training, and it has a flyer, and I'm going to send that out this week. And I think the more opportunities we have for study and training, and articles can go in there too. And I do think we could use the newsletter as a vehicle for recruitment. Maybe I could talk to Suji about that. I'm not sure though how we would use it. I think it's nice though. So, I post my newsletter on social media, but we don't have like any social media accounts other than Facebook, and there's only like 20 members on our Facebook page. So, unless we would share it to private groups like the Chaplains of America, all of the private chaplaincy groups that I belong to, we could share our newsletter, but I don't know what the purpose of that would be. Would it be to get new members? Because we only draw from Aleph Musmachim mostly. So I do think it's good to have visibility to recruit to the RP program, but that's kind of that's not my in my job description at this point. Patrice.
I'm thinking about the website, and I think it could be useful. By the way, the website is beautiful. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before, but it's beautiful, so thank you. And I think it would be cool to have on the website. I know you have a contact us so you can find a rabbinic pastor in your area, but would it be possible, because that's like an extra step, because that contact form goes to just one or two people. Would it be possible to have like a directory for anybody who wants to be on it, so that if somebody is looking for a rabbinic pastor, they could just be like, I'm in Boston. Oh, here's one in Boston. I'll call them, you know?
Sure. It would mean, though, releasing our contact information
I
out
mean,
there.
I have a website. Maybe other people do, or would want to give out their phone number.
That would be kind of neat. Maybe we could put out a call to people who want to be listed.
Connecting websites.
Websites and emails. I mean, nobody really wants to put their phone numbers up there.
No, but websites and emails.
Email's fine.
That's a great idea. Patrice, can you send me an email and just ping me on that? And let's make that happen. That's real easy.
Okay, great. I'll do that.
Say that today there were a number of resources that were talked about in the different workshops that we could put on our website. End of life, dealing with Jewish trauma. I could see us having that kind of resource.
We have a whole resource page on our website. We just need to fill it out more. We need to keep adding resources, and we're missing some. So that's we need to put out the word to collect those, and we can easily do that. And Chaya, if you can just send me all those links. But you're right. I mean, there's new stuff coming in all the time. I think when we created it, we put like 12, but there's more. So we should put the storytelling. There's other things that can go on there too, because I find the storytelling website to be really helpful for me. I use it all the time.
Don't we have a link to the storytelling?
I don't know.
Website
the multi-faith storytelling website. Mark and Renee's website. I'm not sure if it's on there. I have to go back.
I think it is. I think it is. Lee asked a question: is it possible to send the newsletter to prospective students? And Tivana, I think that would be something we could take up with Dee, and you and I can speak about. You're the one that interfaces first with the prospective students, so that's something to think about. That'd be kind of a nice thing. I think it
would be wonderful. And the one thing I forgot to put on this agenda was I really wanted to have a report from you and Tivona about what's going, or you and Dee, and Tivona and Dee, and what's going on with the RP program, and what. How many students we have in the program and what prospective students we have. And yes, the answer is we should be sending them this newsletter, but I would need to have their information. So dear Tivona, do you have anything to share with us?
Well, we have, now that Chaya has been smucht, we have 8 current active students, and we have,
and I only have 3 of those in the RPA.
Yeah, so I wasn't aware of that. So I think we definitely need to get to the students, and I'm not aware of that. So, and there have been a lot of inquiries, but what's interesting is a lot of the inquiries are looking at RP and or cantorial, RP and or rabbinic, RP and or, so, and we have one, I just got notified yesterday, we have one applicant official. The deadline is March 15th, so there may be others, but I would say that I've spoken with maybe 20 people over the last 6 months, and some of them, it's not where they really want to go. They're just calling to inquire, in terms of their life path, but there were probably of those 24 or 5 that I think are possibilities, so I'm in touch with them, but I think I could certainly give them the link to the RPA website. I'm a little, that's just my own thing. And I think, again, Dee and Sandra and I should talk about if we want to set up a specific process around, because Dee and I are really directors of study. We're not the marketers for the RP program. I mean, it's kind of an odd thing. So I think we just need to talk about what that process might look like. And do we wait till someone has actually expressed strong interest before we start sending things to them about the RPA. I'm not sure about that, but.
Well, any emails that you can send to me from the students, for sure, we can get that going. But I also think that any prospective RP students might be interested in what we're doing.
Dee, do you have some other things that you want to put in there?
I was just going to say, I think, if we have genuine interest on the part of applicants that want to get into the program, that would be a good reason for offering the newsletter. I think that, if people are just making inquiries and it's not really something that they're going to pursue, I wouldn't want to just send it to them just because.
Yeah, and once they start the program, if it's a double program, we can still, there's lots of people who can be part of the RPA who are doing both programs too. I think that's important to consider.
I think it will be an easy thing to just touch base with the current students first and just be sure that they're engaged and involved in that.
And to Shulamit's question, the purpose of this, it's kind of a newsletter, but it's more of a email communications vehicle to stay connected with our membership. I think it's been working. We have like 89% opening, which is really good. On mine, I only get like 23%. So I think it's a good percentage and people at least know what's going on. And I'm recording this meeting and I'm going to send a link to our membership so that if they want to see our meeting, they'll be able to see it and see what's going on. We hope that everybody's going to get involved, because the more people that are involved, the tighter that will become. We're only 25. So I think this is a really good representation of our membership right here. I'm pretty happy that it's almost, half of us are here. So the question is, how do we reach out to the fringes and those people who are not getting involved? And that means that, just really making calls and getting real personal, which we did do. We have made calls this year already, and hopefully we'll be able to do that in the future as well. Anything else in old business? Karen, did you want to talk about your...
Shane also had her hand up.
No, I think you've answered the question. I do have, I wonder also, it might be a piece of, for new business, continuing education online for those of us who are chaplains, specifically in the area of RP. I was just thinking about the class that the plenum on doing healing of our ancestors, but dealing with moral injury is something that is going to be a big thing for us for a long time to come with COVID. And it's something we need in our pocket, and it's not just ancestral healing. It's like now. So just a request to think about that and how we might be able to use our website to do that.
I agree with that, and what we've been trying to do on the board is to have regular meeting get-togethers, and at each of those get-togethers, our goal is to have someone teaching and doing something. So if you know of anyone who'd be willing to do a 1 hour teaching on that, what we want to do is focus on some things that we need. I was just in Ann Brenner's session, and I thought that'd be perfect for us. Like, have her on Zoom and let's do a 1 hour session with her and talk about Kaddish and some of the things in her book. But if there are other people who are willing to come in and have a session with us, I think it would be fantastic.
Yeah, so it might be something to think about in terms of like, what do we want to learn and what course of study do you want to set up, like having a theme throughout the year.
Would you be willing to help do that?
Yeah, I'd be willing to help do that.
Yeah, because that
No, I would be willing to help do it. I don't know that I could chair it given the life that I live right now, but I would certainly be willing to help put it together and think about it and work with somebody in concert with it. Sure.
Yeah, trauma healing would be excellent, and I'm willing to send out the emails and hock everybody a Chinik and get everybody there, and we'll get some people together. So let's be in touch, in Kesher, and then we'll maybe set up a couple of learnings for the spring. I think it would be great. I mean, with Pesach coming, it would be a good thing to do. Yeah, and disaster spiritual care, and I know Tavona is involved with that, and I think that would be excellent too. So if we could do that, that would be amazing. And plus, there's all kinds of workshops going on with NAJC all the time, and other chaplaincy groups that I certainly can put in the newsletter and that we can share with the group. So we need to be doing that. Does anybody have any new business before I bring forth my new business? Yeah, Shandel.
I just wanted to say, in terms of what you talked about, the newsletter, and what about the fringe people, and one thing that did really work was when we were doing like those monthly healing, so people showed up that are not usually here, and I think they really were relishing in getting together in that way and using our ways of healing together. So that's just another way of reaching other people that don't come to these things but would come to a healing session of an hour of us just getting together, and then people doing their like Ellen Weaver came in with beautiful.
We've had some amazing deep learnings.
And the music of Stacy, and
Stacy has offered to do a singing bowl program for us, and I'm looking for a date for that with her. So yeah, I agree that the healing part has been great, and then the learning, and if we could get the learning part as well, that would be awesome. Sandra, did you have?
I wanted to add that it would be, so the Hashpa'ah program is offering we usually have it at OHALAH, where we have the day before, on the Friday before the OHALAH, before the Shabbaton, we have a day of learning, continuing education. And this year we're doing it online in February. And I'm thinking, well, we could, maybe twice a year have a half day of learning or something where all of us could immerse. We have the money. We wouldn't even have to charge people. It could be free. We have a lot of money. And we could
I think that's an amazing idea. Why don't we do that?
Do something for, 4 hours, do 2 hours, have a break, and have one or two people teach us something in depth. Anything from, Enneagram to disaster care and spiritual care to whatever, we have to throw out ideas, but we could have some continuing education besides these 1 hour things, which I also think is a wonderful idea, but this is something different.
I agree. So maybe, Karen, we could work on doing a more in-depth study and then continue our healing sessions. This was sort of in place of that. We did one in December. It was really, really nice. And we'll plan one for February, but maybe we need to do one of these half-day learnings, a 4-hour session. And I'll connect with you, Sandra, to see like when that might happen, if you're doing Hashpa'ah, when that's going to happen, because it would be great to be able to overlap that.
Yeah, so I was going to say, we can leak into the other efforts in the Hashpa'ah. If they have a focus and they let us know what that focus is, we can certainly link those efforts and make parallel tracks and work to have something that's applicable all the way around. So I think it could be a turnkey program in very interesting ways.
Me too.
So
Miriam.
It's really great. I am wondering, I don't know how many people are working, but I am wondering if we can do these things in the evening instead of during the daytime.
Yeah, we'll consider that. I know that's an issue for several of you who are full-time chaplains. So sorry about this. This is my daughter. Honey, I'm in a meeting. Can I call you back? Okay.
So there are a couple of ways we could think about that, but that certainly is, we don't have to have them at regular hours. We have people who are all over the world, so we might want to think about that too. Thank you, Abby.
I've been trying to say something for about 10 minutes.
Yes, thank you.
It hasn't been that long, thanks. I just wanted to say, I don't know who of you were at the program that Simcha Raphael did on Monday evening. And, he's really talking about how grief works, that at the beginning of a loss, you know, there's one thing, but then there's sort of a delayed reaction. And he's talking about really that in some ways we're seeing the pandemic right now of illness and disease, but in some ways, looking forward, there's going to be sort of like a pandemic of grief. And he's really urging people to think in our communities about making sure about grief and bereavement resources. So he might be somebody that that you want to bring to do, you know, a presentation or.
Well, he is a member of this organization, so I think.
Oh, that's true.
We might be able to. I'm surprised he's not here, but of course he might be willing to come and teach us. And we have so many resources. We have so much wisdom right here within this group. So I know that we'll be able to. Reb Joni, your class this week, the chair yoga was amazing. I love that practice. So I always love that. And there's just so many resources. So we will definitely do that. Any old business before I launch into something different and new? Joni.
I just want to say that the people that are members and are not in the Zoom call, that are not at OHALA, I mean, if you send in your money, there's some kind of love and attachment that you have to the RPAs. And I'm on a few phone call committees. So I would be very, very happy if somebody wants to do it with me, that we call and let our Hebron know that we miss them. And that I also want to ask the group how you feel about that we have space when we get together for a check-in. You know, like I know we need healing circles, and I know that we will be doing workshops, but it's a beautiful thing to hear, oh, Karen, what's going on? Miriam, Shulamit. And yeah, just want to say that how do we stay connected?
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we do try to do that when we have our healing circles. Today was all about Chaya, but we are going to have good and welfare today. So if anyone wants to check in and share their joys or devastations, we'll have time to do that. We do have one more item on our agenda tonight, and this is kind of my little soapbox. So I'm going to step onto it. I'm going to give my thing, and then we're going to discuss. I've been approached more than a few times by members of the RPA who were surprised to learn that we are not actually members of OHALAH. Our RPA dues entitle us to membership in the RPA, but it's totally separate. It's not OHALAH. The RPA is a sub-branch of OHALAH, but it does not exist under the same umbrella. Our Aleph ordination enables cantors and rabbis to join OHALAH. And if you have an ordination as cantor or rabbi from another seminary, like I do from HUC, you're also able to join OHALAH. Rabbinic pastors have been blocked from standing on an equal platform as clergy partners in OHALAH. We are not able to contribute and benefit from the retirement fund. We are not able to benefit from the tax-exempt policies and ordinances of OHALAH. We are not able to be covered under OHALAH insurance liabilities. And we've recently given up our separate liability policy, which cost us thousands of dollars over the past 10 years. Now, I believe we've been blocked from doing so because rabbis and cantors believed at some point that we might be in competition for their jobs. But I don't think that we are in competition for those jobs. We're primarily serving as chaplains and spiritual directors, community leaders, artists, and teachers. So as a member of OHALAH through HUC and as an Aleph RP Musmach, I've always thought it was unjust that we are treated as stepchildren of OHALAH. And it's my strong feeling that now is the time to stand up strong and pursue our rightful place as the rabbinic pastoral arm of OHALAH with all of the rights and privileges therein. Now, there are many things to consider as we pursue this avenue, if it is what this organization approves tonight. And I don't have a formal proposal, but I do want to discuss it. There's lots of things to discuss, like the finances and what that would mean. And I've already taken the step of setting a meeting up with the president of OHALAH, Jan Salzman, to discuss this possible paradigm shift. She seems very open to the idea and also believes now is the time to pursue this path. She's requested that we write a proposal that will come to the OHALAH board. Reb Chaya, and I sit on that board as liaisons to the RPA. So we would be able to present that proposal. Before we do that, or even develop a proposal, we'd need a consensus from this gathering to do so. And if we get that consensus tonight, then we're prepared to appoint a task force within this organization to create a proposal. Lee Copeland, who I hope is listening to this, has already expressed an interest in such a task force, so I know that she's ready to support it. And I'd like to open the discussion now and see what you're thinking about what I've just said. And if you have any information to give us in terms of the history of why we are not part of OHALAH. Katya.
Been quite some time since I asked these same questions. And what I was told in previous years was that if rabbinic pastors were part of OHALAH, OHALAH would not be recognized by the CCAR, for example, the other rabbinic associations. So that was the I don't say justification. That was a while ago. So things have changed, we have changed. OHALAH has changed. So I think, like you said, now might be the time, especially with the president of OHALAH going, yeah, I think you got a point there. It is just. And we have been around for a while. We have history now. We have validity, more validity now. So, but anyway, that was just what I had. That was the speak that I heard a while ago. So that's historical. That's, the reason that I say it. So
thank you. Tivona and then Shulamit.
And I just want to add on to what Katya said, in agreement with what Katya said. In addition, what we heard was that there was pushback from different boards of rabbis in the different states or cities that our rabbis belong to, that wanted their rabbis to be part of a board of rabbis to only be part of a rabbinic association. I'm not supporting that. I'm just saying that that's been also part of this discussion, and that's been a while ago. So if Jan is open to exploring this, I say Baruch Hashem.
Could you say it again? What the board ever? Could you say that part again, please, Tivona?
So this came. Again, this has been. I have not been involved in this in a few years, but when I was on the RPA and also a liaison to the OHALAH board. So for example, Layla, in being a member of her area board of rabbis, I'll just say Cincinnati, I don't remember where she was at that time that came up, but that they would not allow rabbis to be part of their board of rabbis if they were part of an association that was not simply rabbinic. Now, I don't know how they get around the cantorial stuff. I don't know about that. But that was always was one of the reasons that was told to us as rabbinic pastors, why we were sort of, polluting the pool,
Shamati,
so to speak.
Shulamit. You don't have anything? Reb David Daniel.
Just, I was also involved with this back when the RPA got started. And just a little more specifically, and I have no objection to doing this, but just so we know what the obstacle was. There's been a lot of pushback for Aleph rabbis to join local rabbinic associations. And one of the requirements is that you have to have a rabbinic association that can function to examine ethics complaints and take ethics action when it's needed. And in order, and the idea of there being non-rabbis ruling on the ethics for rabbis was apparently the thing that got people really exercised, and that it had been difficult enough with cantors. And I know, in fact, there has been discussion of having there be a separate cantors association like the RPA for the same reason. I don't know how active those discussions are, but I know that they were happening for a while. So, you know, I was told that it sort of wasn't personal, but that it had to do with jeopardizing local Aleph rabbis joining their local rabbinic committees.
Okay, well, this is a separate issue because what we're talking about is wrapping the RPA in with OHALAH so that we have the same, you know, the same
That is the same
status.
issue. That's the same issue, Lisa. What
Well,
we're
if
saying.
we're not, I understand that, but I don't think that RPA, because we're mostly chaplains, most of us aren't joining. I don't belong to any. I'm a cantor. I don't belong to any rabbinic associations. And as an RP, I haven't belonged to any rabbinic association, just clergy groups, but not rabbinic associations. So when I talk about the proposal that we're going to do, we're going to need to grapple with all that, and we'll have to deal with some of the questions that arise. More importantly, I think, are the finances involved and what, how we're going to, you know, how we would join ourselves with OHALAH, even though we are already, most of our bank accounts are already directed by them. But I think the benefits of being part of OHALAH are important. Not, we'll still be our own entity, but we'll be under the umbrella of OHALAH. So I think that has to be worked out.
We as rabbinic pastors would not be allowed most places onto a rabbinic association. I've been told as much, for example, here in Portland. As a rabbinic pastor, I am not allowed onto the rabbinic association.
So that's why we can't be part of OHALAH? That makes no sense to me, but I'm sure that someone on the board of OHALAH will explain it to me. Leon.
A couple things. Firstly, I'm sorry for getting on late. When I was in Florida, and this is before I got a full ordination, but I was a rabbinic pastor. I was accepted by the
ordination. I'm sorry.
What?
Leon, I'm really sorry. Rabbinic pastor is a full ordination.
Yes,
I know,
but
I got
ordination.
But I had only an RPA, but I was accepted by the Board of Rabbis with the RPA in Miami. That's number one, but that's not what I want to even talk about. We're out there. We're in the trenches. We're opening our hearts to people. We're taking care of people. We're not asking them, what's your title before I go into a room? Okay, enough of this title crap. Okay, we're all under one umbrella, and that umbrella is the heart. And you know what? Everybody has to understand that. Forget the titles, forget everything else, but we have to hug each other, go into those and help people, whether it's Bir Kochalim or whatever we do. And we have to realize whether we have titles or not. And Zalman, I discussed that with Zalman many, many times. And Zalman agreed with that. He totally 100% agreed with that. Discussed it with him many times. So
He wanted you to come for years.
Thank you.
I didn't go to OHALAH for many, many years, as Shulamit will attest to, because of that reason. And I told Zalman that reason. He said, no, that's ridiculous. Everybody is the same. So I just
And I agree. Thank you, Leon. Karen and then Sandra.
So, just a couple of things to consider. You know, Christian churches have been dealing with this for a long time in terms of having, and it's not the same, but they've been dealing with it in terms of people who are deacons and not reverends. And deacons are considered, so it might be a way to think about it. Deacons are not less than, they have just different responsibilities and different ordination processes. For example, in the Episcopalian Church specifically, they have deacons who are responsible for hospital ministry and have full rights and capacities. It might be a way to explore it. The other thing that I'd like to suggest is, I fully agree with you, Leon. Titles really don't matter, but we live in a world of tachlis. And we have to negotiate that out. Tachlis matters when it comes to legal issues. Tachlis matters when it comes to ethical issues. And I'm not saying RP is less than or more, or that rabbi is more than, but it's an issue that we have to negotiate through and figure out. And we can't say, I don't understand it as a means of not doing it. We have to do the work. So from where I sit, Lisa, I think we need to do the work. We need to do the groundwork, and we need to have the conversations, and we need to furrow those channels and move forward. And there's just because somebody doesn't want to do it doesn't mean we shouldn't do the work. So from where I sit, you have my support, and let's see what happens.
Thank you. I think that's an important point. We do have to do the work. I'm not saying that it would just happen. We have to dig in now, and then we have to do the work. And that also includes what's going on in the RP program right now, and how Shulamit Tita is working to add maybe a few more classes that might bring us to the same status, so that we don't feel like we're stepchildren, that we are the third branch, the way Reb Zalman envisioned us to be as the healing rabbis, which we are. We all know we're that. We're just not treated that way by OHALAH, which is what gets me, because I have a thing in my gene, in my DNA about justice. So, Sandra, you had your hand up.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, Karen, for what you said. I appreciate hearing that, and Leon, you too. So, of course, there is a history behind all of this, and there was very legitimate reasons when the RPA began. Even though we didn't agree with them, there were legitimate reasons that there were actually rabbis that could not get into their rabbinic boards in the cities they lived in unless the RPA was a separate organization. That was the reality. I don't know that that's true anymore, but way back that was true. And this is what, David Daniel, 15 years ago at least now? Okay, so that said, and the times they are changing, and I do believe that there's an ethos now in the Olive community that has grown and morphed, particularly since, I would say, in the middle of my time, about 2010, when we started the Olive Student Board, and we kind of flattened it out. We were all equal. There were cantorial students, Rabbinic Pastor students. We worked together, and we began to create an ethos of equality. And I believe that ethos has moved forward and grown in the Olive organization. And I do believe that people that I was ordained with, and I think, and Tivona, maybe you felt this as well. I don't know, Dee, if you felt it in 2009, but certainly since that time, I was ordained in 2013, that the student body does not see Rabbinic pastor students as the stepchildren. They really don't. And I mean, that was my experience. And Chaya, I would imagine that I would love to hear if that was your experience with your Musmachim Od group, but so I think the ethos is changing. I don't know what the needs out there are for rabbinic boards, like what qualifies anymore and all of that. But that was real, Lisa. I know you're rolling your eyes and everything, but it was real. And people were not allowed onto rabbinic boards. And so we have to respect that reality and find a way to work with it. Because that might be true for some of the rabbis still, and we don't know that. We don't know that. So I just want to say that we need to keep an open mind and to know that we live in a renewal bubble. And things are very different out there. I can tell you the infighting in Tucson that happened with the rabbis, would not recognize anybody on the rabbinic board that was renewal ordained, that were rabbis.
That's here in DC also,
okay,
by the way.
So
but I also worked for almost 30 years to have the cantors recognized with rabbis at HUC. So I've done this before. This is not new to my wheelhouse. Cantors were invested for 30 years until we became ordained, and that was because of the work we did, because the students started melding together and we started breaking down those walls. So yeah, there's work that we have to do. Joni, did you have your hand up? I wanted to try to end soon, but let's have a couple more comments, and I'm going to make a motion, and we'll see if we can.
It'll wait till next time. It's running late. That's okay.
Any other comments about
Lisa,
this?
could I say one more thing? When I first applied for board certification as a chaplain, the Jewish what's it called, the
HEC.
Right, agency would not recognize an Aleph Smicha. So I got my certification through the APC, and now they're all recognized together. APC, they're all together. But originally, they turned me down because it was from Aleph.
Things are starting to change and shift, my friends, and it's because of the work that we're doing. It's because of the shoulders that we stand on, and I want to, acknowledge that. And it's also because we're partners with our clergy. We're clergy partners, and we're full clergy partners, and we need to be recognized as such, not just in the administrative way, but in a kavod way, so that we can actually function as part of OHALAH, which is what we're doing already. So I'm, and that's why I think Jan is like, this is a no-brainer, but there may be some objections and we're going to have to do the work. So my question to you now is that I would like to move that that you all empower Chaya and I to appoint a task force to develop a proposal to bring to the OHALAH board. And it would outline our intention to become part of the OHALAH umbrella. So I guess I would need a second on that, and then we would have to take a vote. So how many in favor of just doing the task force? It doesn't mean that we're voting on that. We'll bring it back to a proposal to everybody. Raise your hand if you're in favor. I think we've got almost everybody in favor. So I appreciate your listening and your consideration. And I think let's do the work. Let's do a proposal. We'll come back to this group. Hopefully we can get us all together again on a Zoom call. We'll bring you the proposal, and then we'll after that we'll approve it and take it to the OHALAH board, and then we'll go from there. This could be just the beginning steps. It could take a year. It could take more. Maybe next year at OHALAH we'll be celebrating our induction into the Hall of Fame, our Oscar. Anyway, thank you so much. We're going to move now to good and welfare. Is there anyone who'd like to share a joy or a devastation before we end our meeting with a song that Katya is going to offer for us? Anyone? Patrice.
I'll just share a quick bit of news. I'm in a certification program to become an intentional creativity coach, and I'm quite excited about it. So
That's
I'll be
amazing.
certified in March.
Never heard of that. That's wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful. David Daniel.
So one of the side benefits of the pandemic is how many things are being done by Zoom that weren't being done by Zoom. And because of that, I'm leading a half unit of CPE for the Jewish Theological Seminary from Provincetown, Massachusetts, which is a lot of fun.
That's
Mazel
wonderful.
tov.
That's great.
Anyone else? And I'm getting I just got my 500-hour certification for yoga. So finally, after my bucket list done. Now I'm so grateful for this time to have had the time to do that. So yes, there are many benefits to the pandemic. And my prayer is that we all find the time to do what we love to do. And self-care. So Katya, I know you have an offering for us as we go on our way.
What I again is been my blessing to Chaya, you know, that the word of who gets to do this? You know, that was one of the new chaplains we just hired at the hospital. He says, who gets to be there in these moments? Who gets to bear witness? Who gets to be present? Granted, there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of surahs, a lot of really horrific stuff. There's a lot of strength. There's a lot of resiliency that we bear witness. And who gets to do that? We do. And I hope that we never, ever lose that sense of honor and that sense of awe that we were chosen for this work. Because we didn't choose it, it chose us. We all know that. So as I ended this morning's healing service, we're alive. I am alive. I am alive. I am alive. I am alive. And who is this aliveness I am? And who is this aliveness I am? And who is this aliveness I am? Is it not the Holy Blessed One? I am alive. We are alive. I am alive. We are alive. And who is this aliveness I am? And who is this aliveness we are? And who is this aliveness we are? Is it not the Holy Blessed One? It is not the Holy Blessed One. Is it not the Holy Blessed One? I am alive. I am alive. I am alive. I am alive.
Woohoo! Thank you all for being here, sending lots of healing blessings and love, heart
And
light.
everybody, thank you for everything.
And Mazel Tov again
Mazel
to
tov.
Rabbinic Pastor Chaya.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
And I hope to see us all again soon. Let's get together again real soon, shall we?
Yes.
Let's shall.
Okay. Lila Tov.
Bye.
Bye.